welcome to the Summarize closing ceremony. Look at this turnout. This is a 650 capacity room, and we have 650 people here. I was just about to say, clap if you enjoyed Summarize. So clap if you really enjoyed Summarize. So much has happened leading up to Summarize and then coming to this closing ceremony. And I wanted the kids to learn about business etiquette too, and that's part of what we're practicing here. So I have a quick quiz for the students only, and hopefully you'll shout the right answer. Where is your water cup, to the right or to the left? Good job. And where is your napkin? Is it on your? Good job. I won't quiz you anymore. I'm Elaine Chang-Baxter, and I'm the Director of Partnerships for Montgomery County Public Schools.
Hello, I'm Grace, and I'm a rising senior at Richard Montgomery. I am interested in becoming a teacher in the future, so I was placed in the office of the Chief Academic Officer where I can learn about education.
My name is Haley, and I'm a rising senior at Northwest.
Hello, I'm Ashley, and I'm a rising senior at Wooten. Haley and I want more experience in marketing and advertising, so we worked with Ms. Chang-Baxter in the Partnerships Unit and created the slideshow you see today.
I am Luke, and I'm a rising senior at Churchill. I am interested in hospitality and customer service and was also placed in the Partnerships Unit to help plan this closing ceremony.
We wanted to take time to recognize all of the amazing people in the audience that have been staunch supporters of this program. I'm so excited to share that over 3 years' time, more than 1,000 students have been able to participate in Summarize. We would definitely like to recognize some people in the audience. Please feel free to just stand or wave, whatever you're comfortable with. We have our county executive, Mr. Marc Elrich here, who hosted 2 students in his office. I was absolutely thrilled and actually very touched this year that every member of our county council hosted a student. And with us in the room today are council members Albornoz, Council Member Glass, and I'm not sure if Council Member Hucker made it. Let's clap for him. The remaining county council members were not actually able to be here, but their staff are absolutely here in full force, and they have been so supportive behind the scenes, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. We also have our Montgomery County Sheriff, Darren Popkin, here. Sheriff Popkin's office hosted a student for the first time, and this provided in his office, having hosted a student for the very first time, they provided this incredibly robust, amazing experience, and I was really very, very happy with that. Thank you for hosting. We also have Montgomery County Fire Chief Scott Goldstein here. We cannot begin to thank Fire Chief Goldstein and his team. They have been with Summarize for the past 3 years. They have gone from 8 students to 15 students, and I said, how about 28 this year? And they said, okay. Thank you. We also have members of our Montgomery County Public Schools Board of Education. Ms. Scheffer Evans is our president. Mrs. Patricia O'Neill is here. Dr. Judy Daca. Ms. Brenda Wolf. Ms. Jeanette Dixon, Mrs. Rebecca Smondrowski, and Mr. Nate Tinbite. Also in our audience is Dr. Jack Smith, our Superintendent of Schools. Thank you so much for all of your support.
This program and ceremony were supported by these generous donors, so we wanted to acknowledge them and show our appreciation.
The David and Michael Blair Family Foundation is our visionary sponsor. They're unable to be here today, but we are very thankful for their contributions.
The Blair Family Foundation has been very supportive of helping students gain very meaningful experiences as they relate to careers.
Our next sponsor is the Playground Specialists Incorporation, who is our President CEO sponsor. They were not available to be a host this year, but still wanted to support our program through their donations.
Mr. Jeff Barber, the president of Playground Specialists Incorporation, is with us today. So, who are our engineering and our construction students in the audience? Raise your hands. Oh, and our hosts. This one's kind of a student question, maybe. Have you ever thought about engineering and construction as it relates to designing playgrounds and building playgrounds? How fun is that? So we want to try to figure out ways to help you guys learn about the construction business and building playgrounds also. Jeff continues to be innovative every year, finding creative ways and safe ways for kids to play outside.
The executive sponsor is the Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission. We would like to thank them for everything that they have done for this program.
Christina Robinson is in the audience from WSSC. And I want to thank WSSC because they were actually our very first sponsors of Summer Rise. Thank you so much. WSSC wanted to take on 2 students, and they wanted to learn the students' interests, and then they catered the experience around their 2 students. So thank you for that.
Finally, we have our mentor sponsor, the Montgomery County Education Association. This summer, they accepted double the number of RISE students that they had last year.
The Montgomery County Education Association is not only a sponsor, but they kept running with all of their ideas with the students, and so they actually said, we want to increase our numbers, and they took 10 students this year.
Let's give a round of applause for all of our sponsors.
So I actually wanted to have Heather wave from MCA. Thank you for helping to sponsor. So now I would like for all adults from host companies to please stand. All adults from any host companies or organizations, please stand. Thank you. What I want the students to see is that there are so many adults out there that are really invested in helping you guys to learn about their careers. They are very busy, and they all took time out of their schedules to help you guys learn because they're passionate about that. And I appreciate that major round of applause for them. We have so many high-level executives in our office. Thank you so much for being here today.
Now, I would like to direct your attention to the Summer Rise 2019 highlights video on the screens. Please enjoy the video.
That looks cool.
Summer Rise program is really important to me because we are in a shortage of art educators right now, and so we're really hoping that some of these students will pursue art education as a career.
It's a great program, and it's very important to us because it gives our employees the opportunity to give back to the community and to train the next generation of scientists.
I've learned how to use the camera, how to set up lights, and how to record all of that and take it all the way back to the editing room.
We have learned a lot about the cancer research that they do with the drugs that they produce.
It's been really helpful in opening my eyes about how the art field is like in the real world.
They're able to come here and get experience related to what they're learning in school, but also just general experience like showing up on time, having a good attitude, general professionalism.
They gave us a survey that let us pick which career fields that we were interested in. They gave me the opportunity to be a part of this program, which was my top choice, and I was really happy that I got placed here.
They nailed it this year. We got the students who are all interested in science, and it was easier for them to relate to what my employees are sharing with them because their interests match what our company does.
This program was actually really effective because it helped me match with a job that I know that I do want to be outside and I don't want to be in an office job. And I just want to work outside with plants.
I've always been interested in science and medicine, but this experience has given me more insight on what a science company does and other career options.
I used to be interested in animation, which I still am now, but after doing this, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fun, and I might actually consider this.
Well, I think my placement here has been really effective as I've gotten to grow in my opportunities and seeing how art works and all the things that I most definitely am interested in, and it's helped me see what I want to do in the future and broaden my horizons with that.
In the future, we're looking for them to go off, get their education, and come right back here to Montgomery County and work for us. So this is one of the great benefits.
I'm very happy that I participated in the program.
Yeah, wait till they stop clapping and they get quiet. We have several speakers who would like to share a few words. First, we have Mrs. Scheffer Evans, the President of the Board of Education. Please welcome her to the stage. Oh, she's here this one.
Good afternoon. This is a great room, great crowd. My Board of Education colleagues, Vice President Patricia O'Neill, Board Member Jeanette Dixon, Judy Daka, Rebecca Smondrowski, Brenda Wolf, and Student Board Member Nate Tinbite and I, we are so excited to welcome you to the 3rd annual Summer Rise celebration. Let's give a round of applause. This is clearly an innovative program that both hosts and students find valuable. And my colleagues and I, we are just so grateful that this program continues to grow. It is my understanding that we had students that were learning about government and policies, marketing and advertising, engineering, they're advocating, they work in community service, and also they're finding out what skills they need to be in the healthcare provider field and taking a deeper dive into the arts. We're just so thankful to the people that have hosted our students. Summer Rise is definitely empowering our next generation. It's giving back to our students and helping them to figure out what their interests are, what their skills are, what they're passionate about, so they can go and figure out what their career path is. We had 190 hosts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You all took time, as it was stated earlier, out of your busy schedules to share your career fields, your knowledge, and your passion, and we don't take that lightly. I even heard that there were some hosts that specifically took the time to, once they got to know their students, tailor the learning experience to the students' learning desires. And if you did not know, we have some students that were learning during the Summer Rise in the area of marketing, advertising, finance, and hospitality that actually took part in the closing ceremony. They helped with the preparations, from the tent cards to the seating arrangements to the program booklets. Can we give them a round of applause? That is awesome. Congratulations, students. You all created safe spaces for our students to really come and take risks, to ask questions and get immediate feedback. And so for that, we are very grateful. I want to also take the opportunity to thank our county government officials, just the businesses and organizations, and of course, Montgomery County Public Schools staff that took time out for the entire year to make certain that this would be a good experience for our students. I know that this was impactful to some of our students because they have since decided what career path they're going to go into as a result of the Summer Rise program that they were in. So that deserves another round of applause as well. Our students have made some decisions already. This continues to be a valuable program that my colleagues and I will continue to sponsor and to support. we want to make certain that our students are also finding it valuable, but they're also remembering that whenever an opportunity creates itself, that you take charge of that opportunity, you take advantage of it. So I just want to say to our students, job well done. We hope you have a fantastic summer. And to our hosts, thank you, thank you, thank you. We want you to come back next year and host again. And we also want you to spread the word. Tell everybody else about this opportunity so that we can also get them engaged. So with that, I will say enjoy your lunch, and we'll now hear from our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Jack Smith.
Good afternoon. I want to start today by echoing Ms. Evans' words. Thank you. Thank you to our county executive, our county council, for your service, your support, your financing, your presence and attendance today, your willingness to work with and for and on behalf of all the students. 164,000 pre-K through 12th grade students. 164,000 future residents of Montgomery County, the state of Maryland, this country, and the world. And this is truly incredible. To stand here in front of you today and to remember in November of 2016 when Ellie Giles at WorkSource Montgomery came to me in my office. I was new in the county, and she said, I have an idea. And we talked for a little while, and we worked together on this along with many, many, many other people and organizations. And here we are 3 years later with this and the possibility to continue to expand and reach more and more students. So I want to share 2 thoughts with you today, students and adults, that we all probably have heard of and we think about in some ways, but we don't often consciously consider what's happening around us. The first one is an opportunity cost. And there is an economic definition of opportunity cost, but I want to use the more common definition. The more common definition of opportunity cost is when you accept this opportunity, you're not doing something else. You chose this over something else in your life, which might have been sleeping late every day for the last 3 weeks. It might have been playing more games with your friends. It might have been a job that actually produced more resources in your wallet than this did, with just the stipend here. But I believe this opportunity cost is worthwhile, that it pays off in the future. Because the opportunity to go inside an organization, see how it works, have people help you understand that, have you inform their thinking about the business they do, is a tremendous opportunity. And with almost 200 places of employment, there were a lot of opportunities experienced and a lot of information exchanged this summer. And everything from biomedical to construction to engineering to the hospitality industry to government to public education to nonprofit. All of the different opportunities that are represented here are tremendous, and we absolutely have to continue to provide opportunities to every single student who wants this opportunity. So those of you who are entering the 11th grade, we invite you to come back and bring some friends with you and encourage the younger students. If you want and need an opportunity like this, we want to make it available to every single student. The second thing I want to point out is this is an experience of reciprocity. Reciprocity in the most common language means that when I enter into an experience with someone else or another group of people, that they give something and I give something, and we exchange benefit and value. And so you have been the providers and the experiencers, students, of reciprocity. You have given and you have received. And I cannot thank our sponsors, our employers, our offices across the county, across business, industry, public and private offices and agencies for making this possible. And I say this a lot in my time, now in my 4th year in Montgomery County. This doesn't happen everywhere for students in this state or nation, and we have to value it. Students, families, adults, we have to value what we have because we have real opportunity and real reciprocity. And so thank you, congratulations on your successful completion of this experience, and we look forward to the future as you fill the roles in Montgomery County in leadership and in all areas of our county that will be needed for our future as a community. Thank you so much and have a good lunch.
Thank you, Dr. Smith, for sharing your vision of the Summarize program. And now we have some special guest speakers here from the Montgomery County government. First, we have the county executive, Mr. Marc Elrich.
So I'm really happy to be here. I think it's still morning, right? Or it's something close to that. So I want to start by thanking Adrian in our office. Adrian, stand up, take a round. You did a remarkable job. She led the effort in the executive office. She was a cheerleader and supporter of this and made it happen. And I'm just really glad that it happened. I had the pleasure yesterday of meeting the Summarize students who had worked, in the county government, and also some of the interns who aren't here today from college. And I had the opportunity to go around the room and let everybody tell me what project they had worked on and what they were doing and get some feedback about what they thought about their project and what they were learning. And for me, it was really valuable. And at the end of it, I told every one of them that every single student was working on a project that the county is working on, that nobody's work was in vain. This wasn't busy work. This wasn't an assignment just to give you something to do. Everybody was working on something that has become part of Montgomery County policy. And if they look forward 6 months to a year from now, and some stuff even sooner, they're going to be able to see their handiwork in the policy decisions that this county is going to make. And that's really important. And to have high school students contributing valuable and useful research to a process is no small thing. Not everybody would say, I want you to research this and give me information, and this is, you're a high school student, and sure, I want to know what you think. Well, we wanted to know what you think. We wanted to know what you thought, what you learned, and what you thought the county ought to do with this. And so I was really impressed with the discussions I had yesterday. I was just really impressed with the students we had working for us, and I've already told Adrian that she can do this again next year. This will not be a debate, and I would like to have, more students available. The other thing I told the students is that you really amplify the ability of county to do something, because everybody in that room was somebody I don't have on my staff. So everybody was asking or answering questions that I didn't have another person on the staff to turn to and say, can you look at this and can you do that? And so they really amplified the effective county government in the work we do. So I really do appreciate it. And I can imagine this is true for everybody, that whoever you worked for, you added to the product. You people who you worked for felt your contributions were important. You learned something. You learned something about the business world or the government world, and you learned something about yourself. The fact that some people have already made career decisions based on what their experiences were is really good. And I'm very happy to have been a part of it. And I'm very happy that the school system has done this, that we have a partnership in running this program, and that we're going to have the opportunity to do this again next year. So thank you so much for what you gave to the county. Hopefully what we gave back to you is something that you're going to be able to think about and go forward and say these 3 weeks were 3 of the best weeks you could have spent in the summer, because for us, they were 3 of the best weeks of use we could have possibly gotten out of high school students and the college students who have been helping us. So thank you very, very much, and look forward to continuing and making this program expand.
Thank you, Mr. Elrich. I would like to introduce County Council Member Mr. Gabe Alvarez.
Hello, good people. This is a good-looking room. This is really exciting. Once again, my name is Gabe Alvarez. I'm one of the 9 members of our Montgomery County Council, and it really is a pleasure and honor to be with all of you this afternoon. I want to share 2 quick personal stories from internships that I participated in when I was around your age, and then end by thanking all of the incredible sponsors and all the wonderful people that made today and this summer happen. So one of my first internships occurred in the winter of 1996, which happened to coincide with Michael Jordan's last basketball season. I was interning for the Washington Wizards at the time, and specifically within the marketing and game operations division of the Wizards. And one of my jobs was to follow and shadow Gee Whiz, the mascot of the team, who was something of an acrobat. And before big home games, and this was a big home game, he decided to climb up to the rafters of the then MCI Center and rappel from a rope all the way down to the middle of the court. And guess who had to climb up to the rafters and pull up the rope when he was finished? Me. I was afraid of heights, and I didn't know at the time that then President Bill Clinton had decided at the last moment to attend the game. And so as I raced up to the rafters and entered into a area that was difficult to get into, I walked through the door and had a red dot pointed at my chest. It was the Secret Service, who was in the rafters with their high-power rifles, who asked me to identify myself very quickly. Of course, I'm wearing Gap khaki pants, a tie that belonged to a dad, and a shirt that I had worn maybe 3 or 4 times before. And that experience was incredible on a lot of different levels and helped build a lot of confidence and made for great stories that I've been able to share for a long time. The second story I want to share is a little bit more in depth and set me on a course to public office and where I am today. In the fall of 1997, I studied abroad in Mexico City and worked for an organization called Casa Alianza, and specifically interned for the office that helped reintegrate homeless and runaway youth with their families. Mexico City at the time was the largest city in the world with a population of 16 million people, and the poverty levels were stark. Having grown up in Montgomery County, I didn't fully realize until I got there what a bubble I lived in. And I had never been exposed to extreme poverty like that before, or the injustices that existed around the world. One of my jobs was to help a caseworker find the parent, the mother of a young girl who was 16 years old and dying of AIDS, and had a 9-month-old baby girl who was a participant of the program. It took us a couple of weeks, but we finally tracked her down, and I will never forget the look of desperation on her face when we had to explain to her that we had found her daughter, but that she was dying. We then had to explain to her what an HIV diagnosis likely meant for her granddaughter. That experience floored me and set me on a course to public office and work through the nonprofit sector that has been so incredibly rewarding. And so the seeds that were planted for you this summer are remarkable and important. The relationships that you established within your office, these are all really important data points that you're going to be able to access as you move along your professional careers. Resumes are like passports. Every time you stop for an internship or a job experience, you get a stamp. And you gain these experiences that hopefully you will leverage and take advantage of as you move forward. Some of you have learned what to do, some of you have learned what not to do in an office setting, but I'm sure that you had an incredible experience. So I want to end by thanking MCPS and all of the partners who have been able to continue this program forward. I do also want to give a shout out to my colleague and friend Will Jawando, who worked with Ellie and WorkSource to get this program launched, and I'm so happy that it's continuing. We desperately need your dedication and professionalism because there are a lot of jobs that we need to fill in our community, and it's experiences like this that will help make sure we fill them. Thank you very much. I want to finally end by acknowledging a couple of important people in my office. First, Kathleen, if you could stand up. Kathleen was our Summer Rise intern. She's a rising junior at Paint Branch High School. She is an incredibly impressive young woman, and I am excited about her future. She gives me a lot of hope. And I also want to acknowledge Lillian Cruz in my office, who helped coordinate and do a great job facilitating this moving forward. We look forward to participating next year and doing whatever we can to help maximize this program and reach even more students. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Albornoz. Next, we are so excited to hear from the County Council member, Mr. Evan Blass.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Congratulations to all the students on completing your 3-week Summer Rise program. And thank you, Luke, for that introduction. As he said, I'm Councilmember Evan Glass. I'm one of your at-large members of the council. And before serving on the council, I've had some interesting career paths presented to me. I used to be a journalist at CNN for 12 years, and more recently I was the executive director of an organization called Gandhi Brigade Youth Media, which some of you might know works with some of your schools here in Montgomery County to help teach digital media so that students like yourselves can find your passions and share your thoughts through digital media making and documentary filmmaking. Those jobs are passions that I've loved. They were careers that I sought out, and hopefully over the last 3 weeks, you too have found some passions of your own that you can carry forth. And for Ethan Gray in my office with his cell phone in hand, hi Ethan. There you go, stand up Ethan. I know that for the last 3 weeks, being placed in my office has helped Ethan find some of his passions, particularly writing and public policy. And those were skills that were put into good use as he helped research some environmental policies that I was looking at, and also helped organize some of our constituent emails that I received. And also, probably more importantly, he helped write the speech that I'm giving right now. So this is all him. But whatever your passion and whatever your experience is, I hope that the last 3 weeks gave you a taste of what the real world is like. And for many of you, I'm sure this was your first internship, first work opportunity. And I know that sometimes that can be scary, going into a setting with all these adults, sometimes elected officials, sometimes high-powered business people. But you put yourself out there. And you took the first step to adulthood by trying something new, and the fact that you're all here today means you all succeeded, so that's really important to note. And I know that a number of you are also rising seniors, and so that fear is compounded a little bit more, recognizing that you're going to be going to college soon. And I want you to continue putting yourself out there, allowing your passions to guide you throughout your academic opportunities and academic career. And sometimes that path that you set yourself on will be clear, and sometimes it won't be clear. But that's what opportunities like this are all about, and hopefully the connections that you've made with some of your mentors, bosses, and peers, I hope you continue to maintain those relationships and seek them out and ask people for help and for advice, because this opportunity doesn't end today, and it doesn't end at the end of the 3-week experience. Now, personally, my guiding light throughout my adult life has been doing good for my community, and that's what got me set into life as a public official and now as your council member. And one of the things that I'm most proud of over the last few months serving on the county council is helping expand a program that I know many of you are very fond of, and it's the Kids Ride Free program. And I'm really proud that with the support of the county executive and all members of my council, I was able to lead the efforts to expand Kids Ride Free so everyone under the age of 18 gets free Metro bus and free ride-on bus anytime those buses operate. And I'll say I know that that was a priority of mine, quite frankly, because in the first week after being sworn in, I met with some of you and you told me how hard it was to get to internships, to get to school, to get to opportunities. And so I spent the following 6 months trying to figure out how to make it happen, and now it's happened. So I hope the opportunity to have free bus service facilitated some of your efforts to get to your internship, to get to work, and hopefully to get to school later on. But finally, I just want to thank all of you for all the good work you've done over the last 3 weeks. Thank all of the hosts, all of the sponsors, and of course, thank Ms. Elaine Chang Baxter for helping lead this effort over the last few months. So let's give Elaine a round of applause. And then finally, as I've said, this is not over. So for those of you who are going on to college and those of you who are thinking about college in a few years, come back. Make sure that you help continue building our community so that you, when you open up your businesses, when you serve in office, or when you found a nonprofit, you can be kind and host a Summer Rise Fellow later on in life. So thank you all, and congratulations, everybody.
Thank you to all the speakers for taking the time to come support the Summer Rise program. We appreciate all that you have done to help our program and help our students as they make their way out of high school and towards their future careers.
We're going to move into the closing remarks. There are hundreds of people to thank for the success of this program. In addition to our elected officials, our sponsors, and our hosts, there was a huge, huge MCPS team behind the scenes supporting all sorts of aspects of this program. I'd be remiss if I did not thank our Montgomery County Public Schools Board of Education members, spread out in the front, our superintendents, our Office of the Superintendent, the academic, the communications, the legal, the technology, the finance, the special education, the graphics and print shop, central office, and school-based staff. Did you guys know that we had all those different departments in our school system? All of them jumped in to help support this program. They played significant roles, and again, I would be remiss if I didn't thank all of them. I also want to thank our teacher liaisons and our paraeducator team. They have been unwavering in their support behind the scenes. Could they stand? The teacher, they were probably all in the back or running around, but the teacher liaisons, the paraeducators, there's just a handful. Please stand. The volunteers, thank you. These are your teacher liaisons. Some of them are already standing. I also want to thank Freed Photography. Freed Photography hosted a student this year, but then they also donated in-kind support in terms of capturing hosts and students in action. So we definitely greatly appreciated their efforts, and they helped with some of the pictures on the banners outside. Summer Rise definitely would not be Summer Rise without the collective efforts of everybody. There are so many success stories that we could share that have resulted from Summer Rise, and we circled back with the graduates, and we're capturing their voices. I can tell you that already from Summer Rise, we do have 4 graduates who are volunteer firefighters. We also know for a fact that one of my former students is at Montgomery College right now taking coursework, and she is determined to be a teacher for the school system. We're going to share a couple of highlights from Student Voices.
Summer Rise helped me figure out what I like to do and what I don't like to do. I have a clearer idea of my future major and what my career might be.
Summer Rise gave me a chance to experience what it's like being part of a workforce with mentors who taught me new things every single day.
Summer Rise made me excited to work in an office setting, which is something I never thought I would say. It was almost a little family. Everyone knows each other and had a genuine desire for the greater good.
Summer Rise gave me confidence in my networking and teamwork skills.
Haley, Ashley, and Luke were in my office helping to plan this whole event this summer because they wanted to go again into hospitality and marketing and advertising. And then Grace actually facilitated a Q&A with our superintendent as one of her projects, and I heard how articulate she was, so I asked her host if we could borrow her for the closing ceremony. So she's been practicing with us behind the scenes, so thank you again. You guys did a great job. Our school system has a definite desire to deepen our relationships with all of our current hosts, and we want to increase career-based learning opportunities for our students, not just for high school, but K-12, and we have a variety of models. So now that we're done with Summer Rise, I'm going to keep in touch and share those models with you. We need your industry leader support to help us improve the current coursework that we're offering, and we need you to help define the skills that future employees need to have, and so we need your voice, and I'll be circling back with you to see if you can help with that. Summer Rise is a short program that hopefully allowed some of you to explore the talent that we have in our pipeline. And do we have talent? Many of our rising juniors, so some of our hosts weren't really ready to hear this when I was going through the host orientation sessions, but now that we're done, now that we're at the close, many of our rising seniors actually have 1 to 3 periods off during their senior year. So if you want to keep in touch, you can actually offer an internship to them or a future apprenticeship. So I want you to go ahead and keep in touch with my office to figure out how you can offer an internship, and they can actually earn course credit while interning with you. So I'm planting that seed, and I will keep in touch, and we'll go forward from there. I hope all students in the audience truly seize the opportunity, which is what we emphasized during our training. You guys saw the hundreds of adults that have stepped forward to take time out of their schedules to help budget for this opportunity. Thank you so much for your support of the Summer Rise program. I really do hope everyone truly enjoyed it. We will be collecting name badges as you exit, and the parking fees are covered, so we didn't want to have to worry about everybody asking about parking. And I'm going to close with just saying, each one, reach one. Each one, reach one. If everybody in this room helped to reach for somebody, either expand the opportunities or find somebody else you know would want to support this program, we're going to fill the other half of this conference center. And I do believe that we can make that happen. We do want to expand our opportunities for our students. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of students in each. We actually have 12,000 students in each class, so we offer this opportunity for 24,000 students. So we definitely have an interest in expanding our opportunities. Thank you again, and we wish you guys an amazing summer. We're going to allow you to stay and mix and mingle, finish your food, enjoy the company, and then again, we want you to have an amazing summer. Thank you again for supporting the Summer Rise program.